Are you still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
No. I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you
well,
feel...
Of course, yeah. I like Terence. I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess that's what happened in Riyadh, because I travelled with him to the fight, and but it's a 50-50 fight. I think gun to head, I'm probably picking Crawford right now. But I want Canelo to win. And he can win for sure. But Terence is going to make it really tricky and awkward for him. And I don't think he's going to like that kind of fight.
Good fight. If 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique, because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
Terence Crawford has transformed his physique into a monstrous beast as he prepares for the Canelo Alvarez fight, and boxing professionals can't stay silent. Legendary trainer-turned-analyst Teddy Atlas shared his thoughts with Fight Hub TV on the potential megafight, stating he finds it hard to bet against the American southpaw. Very few people have the appetite or inclination to challenge themselves. Mr. Crawford does. I'm never going against that guy. Father Time might catch him, but I don't know if a weight class can.
Who's getting better? He's improved recently. I think he still needs more seasoning, but I see an improvement in him. He is a talented...
It's a tremendous challenge because Canelo is a tremendous fighter. Bigger, stronger, and capable of punching and timing you. But just because Crawford is smaller, he'll come up with a game plan that forces the other guy to rely on his size.
Canelo Alvarez thinks you're not a 54-pounder. In other words, you say, nah, he's too small.
That's his take. There's a reason why Israel was so respectful in the fight. Anytime I let my hands go, he either grab me or move. For the bigger guy, you should have been walking me down. You should have been bullying me. Canelo can say, what do you say?
He just doesn't feel like you're a 54-pounder. He believes...
The cards are stacked against Terence Crawford heading into his planned super middleweight super fight in September against Canelo Alvarez. And that's exactly how he likes it. Crawford must overcome a serious strength disadvantage when he steps into the ring against the Mexican superstar. Given the circumstances, Crawford is being labeled a betting underdog for the first time in his 17-year professional career. That's expected when a future Hall of Famer moves up 2 weight classes to face another all-time great and 4-division champion like Alvarez. However, looking at the tail of the tape, Crawford matches up well. At 5 feet 8 inches, Bud holds a half-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach edge. And although he's 37, 3 years older than Alvarez, Crawford has less wear and tear, with 25 fewer fights and 263 fewer rounds under his belt. I don't have to stop him, I just have to beat him. I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely, Crawford told The Ring in an exclusive interview. When I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy, moving up in divisions. These big guys are slower. They might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last moment. They might land a hard shot, but he's able to roll and turn with it because he's coming from a smaller weight class that was faster and sharper. I'm coming from a smaller weight class that was sharper and faster. Crawford recently posted a photo of a scale showing 186 pounds. When asked how much he currently weighs, he let out a hearty laugh and said, 140 pounds.
Well, every time I see him, he'll come and be like, Canelo. You know, yeah, you know how Bill do it too, yeah. Every time. I be like, man, come on, man. Yeah. So every time he say that, you know, I just be like gradually getting into like looking at like, okay. And he like, he's not that big. You know, he heavy, but he not that big.
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time.
Crawford began his career in 2008 as a 137-pounder. After capturing a lightweight title, he went on to become the undisputed champion at both 140 and 147 pounds. He currently holds the WBA 154-pound title after defeating Israel Madrimov last summer. Alvarez, meanwhile, launched his career in 2005 as a 15-year-old 139-pounder and has since claimed titles at 154, 160, 168, and 175 pounds. He has a chance to become a two-time undisputed super middleweight champion if he defeats William Skull on May 3rd in Saudi Arabia. If he gets hit with a sharp punch he doesn't see, he's definitely capable of getting hurt, said Crawford.
Talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
He's not a machine. He's human just like me. He bleeds just like me. I'm not going in there thinking, oh, I can't hurt this guy. But at the same time, I'm not going in there trying to knock him out. I'm going to fight my fight, and if the knockout comes, of course I'm going to take it, said Crawford. Canelo's only 2 career losses have come against Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol. He faced Mayweather back in 2013 as a young up-and-comer. Many believe Terence Crawford has a similar fighting style to Mayweather, meaning that beating Crawford could prove just how much Canelo has evolved as a fighter.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that, no disrespect him. But sometimes it's a little crazy that people talking about a small fighter like Charlo. He's big, which he is big. And everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford.
In an interview with Buey, former world champion Barry McGuigan was asked about the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford fight, and he didn't mince words. I think Crawford needs to get back to his old self in terms of his punching power and timing.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this last couple of years. I am not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
He's an old-school fighter in the style of Sugar Ray Robinson, with pinpoint timing. He makes you miss for a moment and then counterattacks, said Barry McGuigan. But in this fight, to take away Canelo's power early, he'll have to get in and out of the striking zone and avoid keeping his feet in one place for too long. McGuigan also admitted that Crawford must fight smart and avoid getting reckless. Canelo prides himself on trading punches. Crawford's not going to do that early. He'll be as evasive and elusive as possible, because otherwise, he risks getting pulled into a trench war that won't favor him.
Canelo's now 10-0 at super middleweight, but largely untouchable at this weight class. Why do you believe that you're the man to knock him off?
The best. That's why. That's why everybody gonna come and watch September 12th.
All right, bud. Good luck on September 12th.
Thanks.
When you see Canelo fading, step on the gas and trade punches with him, but Canelo will know what to do, Barry McGuigan commented. Recently, Tim Bradley took to his soapbox to urge Canelo Alvarez to give Terence Crawford the fight he's been demanding. Crawford, 37, is eager for the bout but hasn't secured it, partly because he hasn't taken on the top contenders at 168 and 175. Canelo, the unified super middleweight champion, is being urged by Bradley not to avoid the clash. Some claim Canelo gains nothing from the fight, suggesting it's simply a golden parachute for Crawford, a final payday to retire comfortably in a massive Beverly Hills estate.
Disrespectful for Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
It's crazy when you ask him about that, because you say, your matchup is coming out with other weight classes and he's welterweight, so don't make sense. But if the fight made sense, why not?
A lot of people have him at number 1.
And you can see the same tendencies that Canelo has now, but he's a lot older now. But I just think that Terence have more skills than Lara, and I think he can do more. And you're saying that,
Crawford showed signs of reaching his limit in moving up weight classes during his last bout on August 3rd against 154 pounds champion Israel Madrimov. Terence looked sluggish throughout the fight and repeatedly absorbed Madrimov's right hands. After that performance, some question why Canelo would even consider facing him. Canelo, don't run from this. You already avoided the Benavidez fight. You don't care what people say about you not taking that one, said Tim Bradley on his YouTube channel. You're walking around Mexico like it doesn't matter. Make the fight with Crawford. That's the fight everybody wants to see. It's the fight that'll give Crawford the chance to show you, and the world, his greatness, Bradley added.
Super strong guy, man, technique. You already know, if you ever wrestled before, the person that got better technique usually win. It don't matter how much the weight they have or what they're carrying around. It's the technique. Crawford knows how to take care of himself on the inside.
Everybody's talking about the weight. Oh, he's going to knock him out. When was the last time Canelo knocked somebody out? Y'all can quit with that. He's not knocking Crawford out, said Tim Bradley. Canelo is the same height as Crawford, 5 feet 8 inches. He started at 147 pounds. He's not a natural 168-pounder. Still, compared to Crawford, Canelo is viewed as the bigger, stronger, and more seasoned fighter. Crawford, 37, narrowly edged Israel Madrimov in his August debut at 154, and many fans believe the Nebraska native is simply too small and too old to jump 14 pounds and take on Canelo for his unified titles. Bradley's stance hasn't been widely embraced by boxing fans, drawing criticism toward him and other professionals backing Terence Crawford.
He knows how to tie up. He knows how to rough guys up. He knows how to turn guys. He understands weight distribution, man. You know, not only that, the only way that I see Canelo beating Crawford is he got to knock him out. And one
Bud versus Canelo, who you pick? I'm gonna go for Crawford. Cause then when he beats, let's say he beats Canelo, and I get ammunition, so when I fight him, and I beat Crawford, beat Canelo. You know what I mean? Respecting BK all day, 718, what up? You heard?
Many experts have already weighed in on how the fight might unfold, and legendary commentator Jim Lampley has now shared his prediction. Speaking to Chris Mannix, Lampley highlighted how Alvarez evolved after his loss to Mayweather, praising Canelo's counterpunching power and his ability to absorb shots. Lampley had nothing but admiration for the Mexican star's accomplishments and stated he doesn't believe Canelo will lose another fight before retiring. When asked if that includes the Crawford bout, Lampley said he thinks so, but also offered high praise for Bud.
Crawford is the most violent force in boxing. And I don't think he's big enough to match with Canelo Alvarez, but I think he'd love to have a chance to prove it. Terence Crawford has gotten a lot of credit for what he's done, and he deserves it. The performance against Spence was spectacular. I told everybody Terence Crawford's pound for pound #1. Most journalists and writers in the sport have ranked Terence Crawford pound for pound #1. 2 days ago, I said
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind as we get closer, said Jim Lampley. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has multiple skills like Sugar Ray. He can defend or attack, and he has a deep inner mean streak that he can unleash at any moment to get what he wants. Lampley also praised Crawford's dominant performance against Errol Spence Jr., stating that Bud is head and shoulders above the rest. He added that Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are the two greatest professionals of this era, making their fight a true spectacle.
Alvarez, how do you feel about not being pound for pound #1 anymore? He looked at me with a blank expression and said, what are you talking about? I'm still pound for pound #1. There's a 21-pound weight gap there. Terence Crawford's a 147-pound fighter. I'm sure he'd go as high as 160. Can he get Canelo Alvarez to come down from 68 to 60 to fight him? I don't know. I'm not sure that Canelo would give him.
The potential showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez this September in Las Vegas has boxing fans hooked, and for good reason. It's the clash of contrasting styles, high ring IQs, and fighters from different weight classes. As anticipation builds, opinions on the likely winner remain split. Now, Jose Benavidez, the older brother of WBC interim super middleweight champion David Benavidez, has joined the conversation. The 32-year-old previously faced Crawford in a brutal knockout loss for the WBO welterweight title in 2018, giving him first-hand knowledge of what Bud brings to the ring. Still, Jose seems to have more than just experience guiding his prediction. He recalled how his younger brother never got the chance to fight Canelo, denying him the opportunity to showcase his true skills.
He's smart, he knows what he's doing. Canelo, you know, I mean, he's not that big of a guy. He obviously weighs more, but I mean, you can't take nothing from Crawford. He goes in there to win. So I mean, I feel like it'd be a good fight. You know, it sucks that my brother didn't get the opportunity, but I mean, only Canelo knows why it didn't happen. And he's got to keep moving forward. You know, got to keep moving forward. But it's gonna be a good fight to watch. I got Crawford on this one. The thing with him, he hit.
Jose Benavidez was recently seen at the press conference for the David Morrell versus David Benavidez fight. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, he was asked how the Crawford versus Canelo fight might unfold, and he didn't hold back. I mean, like I said, Crawford's a freaking beast. He's smart. He knows what he's doing, Benavidez stated confidently. While discussing the matchup, he acknowledged that Canelo is the naturally bigger fighter, but emphasized that size alone doesn't decide a fight. Canelo, you know, I mean, he's not that big of a guy. Obviously, he weighs more, but you can't take anything away from Crawford. He goes in there and wins.
Not only does he switch from, you know, from southpaw to orthodox, but he's just a smart. He has a high IQ in boxing, you know, and that's what I feel like. All these fighters that go in there to fight Canelo, they already go in there scared, is what I believe, you know, that which already beats him, you know. So Crawford's gonna go in there to fuck.
Meanwhile, Jose Benavidez also expressed disappointment over the missed opportunity for his younger brother. You know, it is annoying that my brother didn't get that opportunity. Only Canelo knows why that didn't happen, and he's got to keep moving forward, he lamented. As the interim super middleweight champion, David Benavidez was Canelo Alvarez's mandatory challenger. However, Canelo reportedly demanded an extremely high purse for the fight. With no progress, Benavidez moved up a division and defeated Oleksandr Gvozdyk to capture the interim light heavyweight title. When asked further about Terence Crawford's ring IQ, Jose didn't mince words.
Canelo versus who?
Canelo did what he had to do to get the victory.
What do you want next? It seems like that's going to be the fight tonight. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there. So that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
You'll see. Come 12.
The thing with him is, he's just a smart fighter, you know, Benavidez said. He also pointed out Crawford's ability to switch between southpaw and orthodox stances, making him both unpredictable and dangerous. Benavidez added that many fighters seem intimidated by the Mexican champion before the fight even begins, but he doesn't believe Crawford will have that mindset. Crawford is going in there to win. He's not going in there to freaking lose, he predicted. Despite Crawford having fought only once at super welterweight and needing to jump 2 more divisions for this fight, Benavidez is confident he has the skill set to become just the third man to beat Canelo in 66 fights.
Talking about the weight differences, what's your kind of response to that, Terence?
That's why we fight the fight. So September 12th, we all gonna see if the weight gonna make a difference or not.
Do you want to fight him twice and then retire? Is that kind of the ideal thing for you?
One fight at a time, one fight at a time.
What did you make of, I know you didn't say much on tonight, the effectiveness of William School? He came to go to decision as opposed to win the fight. Would you agree with that?
What makes the task even tougher is that Canelo has fought as high as light heavyweight on 2 occasions. Most recently losing on points to Dmitry Bivol, but earlier scoring a stoppage win over Sergey Kovalev. That victory earned Canelo a world title in a 4th weight class and showcased both his power and durability. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Kovalev acknowledged Crawford's skill set, saying he believes Bud has what it takes to beat his former opponent. However, he emphasized that the 14-pound weight jump could be the deciding factor. Terence Crawford, great fighter, huge respect to him. I think he's the best pound-for-pound fighter. But if he moves up, he can beat Canelo. I just don't know how comfortable he'll be in that division, said Kovalev.
With Terence Crawford, based off his last performance with the Cuban William School, how do you think Canelo things are going to play out for Canelo come September 13 against Terence Crawford?
I think Canelo is the favorite of this fight. There's still a big than Crawford, and I don't know Crawford. How is Crawford now? It's my age, 39, and his last performance don't look good. So I pick Canelo in the one.
Yeah, any advice you can give each other?
Canelo, Crawford. What do you think, and how is sparring with each guy?
Anytime you spar with elite level guys, you know, you learn something from them, and you gain experience. You know, I've been in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, as you said. I've been in the ring with Atlanti Laura. I've been in the ring with Triple G. I've been in the ring with Adrian Broner. I've been in the ring with Daniel Jacobs. I've been in the ring with Caleb Plant and Julie.
What division are they going to fight? Super middleweight. It's too big. He will be slower, you know, because he'll be heavier for the fight, said Sergey Kovalev. Every boxer should be cutting weight for speed, lightness, movement. It's no good for Crawford. But I know and I see that he can get the win. Canelo will keep his hands up and walk him down. Crawford is very smart, but nobody knows how he'll feel at super middleweight. It's too much weight. I did a fight at 200 pounds. I wasn't light heavyweight, I was slow. It's not comfortable. I think Crawford will be the same when he gets heavier. If he's in shape, he will beat Canelo. Coron Davis, who has sparred both superstars, also picked Crawford to win. Speaking to Fight Hype, Davis said, "Preparation is going to definitely be everything." Regarding Crawford's jump to 168, he added, "I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while. He's been showing his training and stuff." And that's all for now. For the best updates on news, moments, events, and action in the boxing world, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out. Until next time, peace.